guys, so I just finished doing the video about concealer. So now I want to talk about foundations. Foundations, I feel like they are like the blue jeans of makeup, right? Jeans, you have to try everything on, and it's so annoying. So most times my jeans have stretch in them because I got a booty and I'm not fooling with buttons and all of that stuff anyway. Foundation, I feel like it's the same thing when it comes to makeup, right? A lot of people ask me, the two most requested areas of concern that I have with my clients is concealer and foundation. Sometimes brows too, but concealer and foundation are always. Okay, there are certain things that we need to really think about before we're going to purchase a foundation. So there are three things, well maybe four, but three things I always say, ask and research prior to. You want to know, number one, the texture of your skin. You can never ever overlook that. Never. Number two, you want to know the consistency, the texture, and the features and benefits of the foundation that you decide that you may want to try. And number three, you need to know the undertones. You need to know your undertones and the undertone of the product. Okay? I'm going to give you an example about undertones. So for women of color, and I don't just mean black women, I mean Hispanic, Italian, Middle Eastern, whatever, anyone that is not, you know, fairer in skin tone. It's very easy for us to walk up to a makeup counter, and listen, I worked at makeup counters and managed counters for years, okay? You'll walk up to a counter and you say, oh, can you match my foundation? A lot of times you'll get, oh, you're tan or you're deep. Okay, I am not tan or deep. The tan is usually like maybe a Kim Kardashian tone, and then the deep may be like a Naomi Campbell. Like there's such a huge range in between the two. So I've had experiences, of course, nothing recently, but I've had experiences, my clients have had experiences where they'll go to a counter and they'll put some color on them, and then they're like, oh, this is great, this is perfectly you, oh, this is matches your skin, oh, it's so beautiful, and then they walk out of the mall and you have a gray cast on your face. It's too red, it's too pink, it's too something, right? And it's frustrating. But the reason that that can be frustrating is because you're going in and you need to be armed a little bit more than asking the girl at the counter or the guy at the counter. Sometimes they are artists, but a lot of times they're salespeople and they really may not know. So what I generally mean when I say the texture of your skin, the texture and concerns, do you have dry skin? Do you have oily skin? Do you have combination skin? Are you acne prone? Do you have mature skin? Are you super young teenager with baby soft skin? What are your concerns? What is the weather? Is it summer? Is it winter? In the winter time, we're a lot drier. In the summertime, we're hot, so we don't want anything that is super, you know, heavy or oily. The texture of the makeup itself. Is it a liquid? Is it a cream? Is it a powder? That's very important because you want balance, whether it's foundation, concealer, brows, hair color, whatever. The goal is to balance it out. And so if I have dry skin, I need a foundation that has butters and emollients in it. And I know everybody says, oh, oil, no! It will benefit your skin because if you use things that are too dry, within an hour you'll look like the Sahara Desert, like it's just not enough moisture. If you've got very oily skin, don't go buying sticks and heavy creams because it will grease up so quick and you will be in that mirror every 15 minutes. Oh, all this oil, oh, I'm trying to get it off. So that means you need to purchase a foundation that is almost opposite, that promises to do opposite of your concern. I know MAC has Studio Fix Fluid, which dries to a powdery finish. They've got drugstore brands that do the same thing. So you want things that will negate the skin concern. If you have more mature skin, if you're 60 and up, don't do a ton of powder because 9 times out of 10, if you are already showing signs of aging, if you've got wrinkles, if you've got areas under here that really annoy you, the last thing you want is to then get a compact that may Doesn't mean you can't wear powder. You just have to be more careful where you place it. So you may not necessarily want a powder in a compact that's got binders in it that when you put it on your face, it just settles. Because it's kind of like this, and it will sit flat and still if your skin texture is very even. As soon as your skin texture ripples, and that could be, you know, lines, wrinkles, it could be whatever issue, whatever it may be. As soon as your skin does this, the powder does. So if it's a lot of powder, you will then see separation of the product, right? In that instance, if you are a lover of powder just because it's easy, mineral makeups are amazing because they're lightweight. They are, they're generally easy to apply, and if you put it over a concealer or something like that, you don't have to worry about the powder being so dense that it then creates some sort of a paste on your skin. What else would I say about that? So I'm just going to do a really quick application of foundation on myself. I have normal skin. It's not too oily, it's not too dry. So I can really go cream or powder or liquid, depending on the day. I can do airbrush, I can do whatever. So I'm actually going to do, although I have tons of foundation, I tend to go to the CoverGirl Queen, and this color is called Classic Bronze. Hopefully you guys can see that. It's called Classic Bronze. And of course this is a line that caters to darker women. I'll do this really quickly, and while I'm doing this, I'll tell you how to select a color for your skin. So the other thing I have an issue, well, people always have an issue with, by the way, I'm using my fingers because it's my face. When I do other clients, of course I use sponges and brushes and stuff like that, but this is a quick tip video, so I'm just going to show you how to do it quick. I just put a little bit on my hand, just rub it in a little bit, and I'm going to start. Now, when you go to the makeup counter, if you don't know your complexion, right, the easiest little trick I would tell you to do is go to Sephora. Sephora has this amazing machine now that actually, when they have a gadget that they put against your face, when they put it against your face, it gets your undertones, it gets all of the information that you need. And then it will actually suggest certain brands that you can use that have an exact match for your skin. I'm gonna tell you why this is important. If you don't know how to do anything else, go there and get your skin color matched, right? Let's say then you want to branch out and find a drugstore foundation. You want to branch out and find a department store foundation that's not sold in Sephora. With that printout, what you can do is, if you go to the brand that you're interested in, if you go to their website, a lot of times they will have a match me or find my shade category. Now you take what you got from the Sephora printout, all of the different brands, and you go to the brand that you may be interested in. So let's say I want to find Iman. Let's say I want to go to CoverGirl. Let's say I want to go to L'Oreal True Match, whatever it may be. I can now take this arsenal of product that I now know about, go to the L'Oreal website, do the Match Me icon or the whoever makeup site you go to. Choose one of those foundations because they'll probably have one from the list on the Match Me site, and then that will tell you which product to use. So I know that probably seems like a lot of steps. It may be in the initial process, but to be very honest, if you keep that sheet, every time you want to try a brand, you can sort of arm yourself with that and say, listen, in this brand, I normally use this shade. Do you have something comparable? In this, makeup season, in the wintertime, I generally use this product from this brand. Can you find something that's comparable? Or you'll go to the website and find something that's comparable. That's just a little tip that I'll tell a lot of my clients. Okay, as I was talking, you see I put my foundation on. Super quick. This is one of those foundations that dries to a powdery finish. So lucky for me, I don't have to powder if I don't want to. But remember, I never powdered under here when I did my concealer. When I powder, I never use anything heavy. I don't banana powder. I don't bake. If I am going to an event, I'm going to contour and highlight and bake and all that stuff. But for everyday work, I don't have the time to do that. That takes too long. So I will then choose colorless powders. This one is the Makeup Forever HD powder. Let me see. I take a powder that's a light weight colorless powder. Lightweight and colorless. MAC Cosmetic has one. That's the Makeup Forever HD. NYX Cosmetics has a colorless powder. The reason I say colorless is for two reasons. It will not change the color of your product, and if it's colorless, it's usually finely milled. It's usually really, really light. So when I add it, I'm not putting another super heavy layer on my face. I'm literally just taking sort of shine away, and I'm ensuring that I will have a little bit more long wear of my makeup. During the day, when I feel like I'm getting oily, I don't apply more powder. You can if you want to, it's your face. But I also usually carry, this is by the Beauty Blender brand. It is called the Blotterazzi. And I like this. Okay, let's see. There we go. I like this because it is the same texture as the Beauty Blender, but it is used to absorb oil. A lot of people don't know about these, but I have a ton of them. All you do is like a tissue. If you don't have it, if you don't want to use a tissue, you just take it and you would press it into whatever area of your face has oil. It soaks up the oil. You can wash this, and it says it lasts approximately 30 to 45 days with gentle, regular cleansing. But of course, you can probably use it longer than that if you don't use it that often. Hopefully I've answered some foundation questions, and I'm kind of talking fast because I got a lot I want to go through, and I don't want to make the videos like an hour long. If you have questions, leave them in the comment sheet or the comment section, and I'll try to answer them for you. The next thing I want to do is a quick brow. So I will see you guys in a moment. Bye.